Hello, right, so I've started in-game this time, largely because the last few attempts at doing a video have fucked me off, basically. Right, let's get straight on with things. Now, I am currently in a system that I haven't shown before. That's because I have made a fair bit of progress since my last video. I'll show you exactly where I am in a sec. I just want to... yeah, that's what I wanted. I hope it's aluminium, which it is. As you can see, my mining or multi-tool, whatever you want to call it, has changed somewhat. Now I am still in the process of yeah, that's everything there. I am still in the process of actually fitting mods to this thing. I freely admit I'm going a bit over the top with it. Right. It would help if I selected the right thing. I want a recoil stabilizer. I need a bit more platinum and a bit more zinc for that. And I want rapid fire SATA. Still need a bit more for that. That would be nice. So would that, but they're not priorities. The recoil stabilizer certainly is a priority at the moment. Anyway, I'll go into you know, how far I've got as far as all of my upgrades and that, but you will obviously have seen that my multi-tool has changed, and you can clearly see here my ship has changed. I'm in a much larger and more powerful ship. There you go. It has 26 slots as opposed to the ship in the last video, which only had 16. That's why my units are so low. They're currently at 353,693. That's awful. This ship here that I'm in now cost me just shy of 3.1 million. Now, as you can also see, I've upgraded the exosuit a fair bit, and that's up to 26 slots. So it has the same number of slots as the actual starship. And the multi-tool isn't far behind with 24. So I've certainly made a fair bit of progress as far as the the actual inventory goes. Now I currently have an awful lot of well, basically an awful lot of minerals and that, and elements that I have been harvesting, and I've also been checking out an awful lot of ruins. That is because I am doing the actual campaign, insofar as I am trying to reach Galactic Centre. You don't have to do that, of course, but I am. I thought that was the tail of some creature or something. I wish it was. Right, so we'll another word. Now, I'm now currently learning the language of the Vy'keen. They are the third alien species. I've now encountered all three, which I'm quite pleased about. I don't think there's going to be much up here. No. Alright, so let's head back down and check this thing out. So anyway, it tells you a bit of history about the particular alien inhabitants of the system you're in, and then you can get some help with their language and learn a new word. It also, you can see, increases your standing with whatever creature you're dealing with at that particular time. So let's get back in. Now let's check out then my journey. So I am currently in a system called Albastru, which I'm almost certainly pronounced wrong, but I believe that is Romanian for either yellow or blue, one of the two, I can't remember. Old Zontar would probably be able to put us right. I believe he's Romanian. And well, I'm currently on the planet Fenris, which is the only planet I've actually been to in this system. So prior to here I was in the Vy'keen system. Of course all of these systems and planets I've renamed. So I took it upon myself to name all the planets in the Vy'keen system after sort of the greatest socialist of all time. So we have planet Frederick Engels here, and planet Leon Trotsky, and planet Joseph Broz, and of course planet Karl Marx. Oh, I didn't upload that one yet. I'll upload that now. Now some of those planets, Joseph Broz in particular, did not have the very nice conditions. Weather, volatile dust storms. It was also radioactive, the surface. The surface was completely barren, so there wasn't much in the way of flora or fauna, but as you can see there were some creatures there. Planet Karl Marx was a completely frozen wasteland. I didn't need to spend an awful lot of time there actually, although as you can see I scanned a fair few creatures, got 3 pages worth. Now before there is the system Cerberus. Now that is the system that I arrived in at the end of my last video. Now if you're familiar with a certain British science fiction program, the name Cerberus might ring a bell. If it doesn't, then the names of the planets should certainly help. Telos here. Some would call it Telos, but it is Telos. Telos was in one of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games. I think it was in the second one. But as far as this particular reference goes, it is Telos. If that doesn't tell you what the connection is, Mondas probably will, because Mondas and Telos do have a connection. Even more of a connection than just the program. If Mondas doesn't give it away, then Skaro almost certainly will. And if Skaro doesn't give it away, then Gallifrey certainly does. If you still don't know, then science fiction really isn't your forte, is it? And then finally there's the Lucosa system, which you already saw with the planets Control, Experiment and Torrada. So that's where I've been. So I'm in my 4th system. But so far I've only visited this one planet. And this planet isn't even the nearest planet when you first arrive here. I came here because I was guided here. I haven't even been to the space station in this system. And once I've checked out this abandoned building, I'm thinking that's where I may head. Now this abandoned building is a fair way away. You know, somewhere is over 3.5 minutes away in a ship. That's a fair old distance. And I've been making my way here for quite some time, but I keep stopping if I find something of interest or something I need. And a lot of the time that's been those cubicle things that give you the suit upgrades. I spent a fucking fortune on suit upgrades, but I was in a position where I could afford it. With only 356,000 at the moment, I'd say I'm not in that position now, but hopefully that will change. I don't need to change my ship again for a while, or at least I don't think I do. I have seen a ship with 27 inventory slots, and that was actually a ship that had crash landed and I could have repaired, but it would have required so many resources that I didn't bother. Now, while we are heading on our way, go through some of the upgrades I've fitted, or rather upgrades that were already fitted to this ship, because I've not done too many of them on this. So obviously, as well as the weapons, your phase B, your photon cannon, and then there's your drives, so the launch thruster, the hyperdrive pulse engine, and then there's the deflector shield. I've also got the various add-ons here for all of my weapons. I have enhancement for the deflector shield. I've got 2 more, but I don't really have the room to put them on. I've got improved manoeuvrability and Thamium-9 consumption for my pulse engine, and I have the warp reactor Sigma, which means I can jump a bit further every time I hyperdrive. Now, as far as the multi-tool goes, well, obviously with this thing it's all upgrades. It's not finished by any means. I want the better range boost for my scanner, but I need chrysonite. I need 110 of them. And when I get that, I'll replace the range boost Sigma with the range boost tower. I won't fit the two together. But I got all sorts of additions for the bolt caster, all sorts of additions for the mining laser. I've even put one addition on for the plasma grenade. Right, I'm going to land here because that is another Rin which wasn't marked. I just stumbled on it. There's also some copper here if I want it, and some iridium there. I don't really need either, but it would be handy to pick it up so I could sell it. Because I do need the credits, or units. Still so fucking in the habit of calling everything credits. But yeah, I'll take it as for granted that you know what I'm referring to when I say credits, because I'm sure I'm going to keep fucking doing it. So it's 2 more words learned, and then this will give me a 3rd one, as well as increasing my standing with the Vy'keen. It would appear that the Vy'keen do not like the Sentinels one bit. That's something they have in common with me. I've learnt the Vy'keen word for Herc. I'm sure that'll come in handy. Now, let me just double check something here. Yeah, I don't have... Okay, so there's the copper. I've only got 81. The iridium, yeah, is currently stored in the ship, because I have 496 of that. But I am at the point now where upgrades are... Fuck it. I need to sort that out. Right, I'll use the plutonium. I haven't actually found any plutonium for a little while. So anyway, as you can see, I'm destroying these targets when mining a hell of a lot quicker than I was before. This is thanks to a combination of the upgrades I've got fitted to this multi-tool and the fact that I have a much improved version of said multi-tool. Now if I am really, oh bollocks, I overdid it. If I'm really keen to get a particular element, I will mine every last fucking fragment of these things, but in this case I don't think I need copper for any of my upgrades, so I'm not going to go mad, I say, and yeah, I haven't quite finished it off, but I'm getting there. The Iridium mines an awful lot quicker and comes in at a much greater rate as well. The only problem is when it comes to selling it on, because I keep forgetting which elements I need to keep and which ones I need, well, you know, which ones I can sell. Then I keep forgetting, you know, quantities and all that. Fuck it, I can't be bothered to go after all those fragments. Let's go and grab some of the Iridium here. You know you've been playing this game for a fair while when you know what the element's going to be just because of the colour and shape of the rock. Shit, overdid it, but I've already got 104 just from that blast. So that's well over 200 I've got now. I think it's safe to say I don't need any more. Right, so we'll transfer that to the ship. We'll also transfer the copper to the ship. So what do we got now? So I have 728 Iridium, 381 copper. I am a bit low on plutonium. Thamium I'm okay on, because this ship doesn't use thamium at a particularly great rate. Now while I am definitely a fan of the game, there's no two ways about it, it is not without issue. Like everybody else who has an Nvidia card, I am being affected by this issue of the frame rate nose diving. And the annoying thing about it is that it just comes along completely at random, but it is always triggered when you enter your ship here. I don't know what causes it, because as you can see the game runs fine, and then suddenly bing, don't want to work properly anymore. And I am getting rather tired of constantly, you know, having to save and exit and rebooting again. Alright, so this is where I'm meant to go to continue my quest here. So let's check out this abandoned building. Hopefully I can get in without having to break in. I'll mark the area. It's another 1,000. So we'll upload that. So that's the 1,000 paid.
Toxic protection stabilizing.
Ah, I found these another place that was like this. It's all smashed up and it had all this weird growth all over it. Alright, so it looked like a wound on the world, crimson and ragged-edged, like something that once lived but was then torn asunder. Oh my god, I should have stayed away. Had I the senses to taste the air of this planet, I imagine it would have reeked with some kind of alien fetor, but nothing could stall my curiosity. How charming. Was it dead? Where I touched it, the surface was moist and yielding. It seemed to become motile then, crawling on a mat of slow cilia, moving from me. I should have left it alone. Lovely. That's a better version of the toxin suppressor that I'm using at the moment. That'll probably be more plutonium. I certainly need it. And that'll just turn the light off. No? Yes. Turn it back on again anyway. I don't think I can use this thing. Yes I can. Right. Teach me another word. Right, so is that everything here? Looks like it. Right, so it's telling me to save progress and claim sector discovery. I'm sure I've already done that. Would it if I was looking in the right section? Yes, I have already done it. Okay, well let's save progress again, just in case. Head back to the ship. Now, I definitely do need more plutonium. That piss out little amount isn't going to do a great deal. I also need to get shot of some of this stuff here. Well, I can use the shielding shard on that. That toxin suppressor is handy where I am at the moment. That rain is toxic.